All right, starting off the NFL Top 10 rankings for Week 9. Number 10, the Chicago... It's not. It's not the Bears. They're not even close. Not even a little bit. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I am your host, Tom. I wish the Packers were higher on this list. Grossi. And as we've been doing for the past few weeks, today we're going to take a look at the top 10 teams in the NFL. And I hope you're happy to know we have a new number one. We have a new number 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Yeah, pretty much everything on this list is different. Week 9 really shook it up like what you shouldn't do to an infant child. And today we're gonna break down where I see the top 10 teams being. Also, big news coming out that Cam Newton is officially on IR. His season is over. And while the Panthers were able to pull off a win because of Christian McCaffrey, who it's been all year, I don't think the Panthers aren't going to make the top 10 this week. But who knows? Maybe they will if they knock off the Green Bay Packers next week. If they do, toaster baths for everybody. So let's start off with number 10, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I'm giving it to the Cowboys. Hats off to them. Yeah, they are beating teams like the Giants, but they also beat the Eagles, right? That's a thing. The Cowboys seem to have bounced back after their atrocious 3-game losing streak, after hyping themselves up and smelling their own ass and, starting off real well and then just tanking. They seem to have bounced back. Ezekiel Elliott out in full force last night, beating up on the Giants. And so that's earned them a top 10 spot. The Bills, you are, no, never again. You won't make the list. Maybe. But I'm still mad at you for including you, and then you screwed it up. But who knows? The Cowboys have a huge game against the Vikings next Sunday night. And so that might determine who gets to stay in the top 10. And speaking of the purple incarnations of Satan, number 9, the Minnesota Vikings. Ooh, a tough loss against the Matt Moore-led Kansas City Chiefs. And everyone who was laughing at the Packers of, you almost lost to Matt Moore. Well, you guys lost to Matt Moore. But you can't put this on Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook couldn't get a lot going that day. But the biggest thing was the conservative play calling in the fourth quarter really killed them. And a missed extra point also didn't help. But the Vikings, they still have a super competitive team. Again, that defense, that secondary is looking pretty damn suspect. Because when Matt Moore had time and wasn't running for his life and getting blitzed, he was able to hit receivers. And so I think they need to clean that up a bit. But they're still in the top 10, even though they've fallen down a couple notches. Then moving on to number 8, and that is the Seattle Seahawks, who went down big against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, were able to rally back, and at 7-2, they're still holding on and keeping pace with the NFC West leaders, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, that defense is bad. Bad. Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett, they are in it right now. They are working together. They're making the teamwork makes the dream work. And so the Seattle Seahawks, I put them just above the Vikings because Russell Wilson is magic and Kirk Cousins is not. Then moving on to number 7, you have the Kansas City Chiefs sitting at 6-3. Matt Moore, he did well. He did well enough. Of course, a big Damian Williams touchdown also helped. But Tyreek Hill balled out, had a great game. And I'm really putting this up here for when Patrick Mahomes does come back, because that team can beat people with Matt Moore. But once Mahomes comes back, these guys will be skyrocketing it up into the top 10. Then number 6, you have the Houston Texans. Without J.J. Watt, they were able to hold the Jaguars and Gardner Minshew to a respectable, but not 3 points. And even though Deshaun Watson literally has only one eye right now, and that thing is gross. Like, he needs to become a pirate and just put an eye patch on there, because if he's able to win with an eye patch, then he's even more badass, and he will shoot up to at least the top 5. But Deshaun Watson in that offense kept it going. Defense was able to hold down the Jaguars, and so because of that, they get the number 6 spot. Then moving on to the top 5. I'm going to be called a homer for this one, but it's the Green Bay Packers. Yes, I still think just because one terrible game doesn't disqualify them from being in the top 5. We've been riding high and high and high, and then like a roller coaster, it just fell down. And it's only a matter of time to see how far we're actually going to fall down. Because, yeah, yikes. Big yikes. Offense was bad, defense was bad, bad play calling, just a whole lot of yikes. And time will tell if this is going to be an outlier game or if this is going to be the start of a terrible pattern that is going to really increase my intake of alcohol. But the Packers still have all the tools in place. You know, Rodgers calling out the team a little bit, being like, maybe we shouldn't have prepped as well as we should have. Looking at you, team. And so time will tell if they're going to be able to put down the Panthers before going on their bye week. That will be a big game for them next week. Then moving on to number 4, the Kings have been dethroned, and that is the New England frackin' Patriots. The New England Patriots, still a good football team, obviously had the benefit of having a really easy schedule for the first 8 games of the year. And then they came across the Ravens, and the Ravens said, nay. And this game would have been more of a blowout if it wasn't for self-induced errors on behalf of the Ravens. But like I said, they're still a good football team. These next 4 games against quality opponents are going to test how good of a football team they really are. Then moving on, number 3, to the Baltimore Ravens, who are sitting at 6-2. It seems that they've ironed out the inconsistencies since getting blown out by Nick Chubb and the Browns, which nowadays would just be embarrassing. But good God, Lamar Jackson is literally playing MVP-like football. The way he is dancing in the pocket, he is like a freaking water bender. You ever see that Avatar TV show? This is what he's like in the pocket. It's amazing. It really, truly is amazing watching him play. The offense was potent. The defense was able to hold Tom Brady and get him uncomfortable. And so the Ravens have definitely deserved a spot in the top 3. They've been playing damn good football. Then moving on to number 2, you still have the only undefeated team in football, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. Now, they had a tough divisional game against the Cardinals, in which the Cardinals were able to get real close to the 49ers and almost come back. But Jimmy G threw 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. The offense looked good. The defense did just enough. And it really wasn't Bosa who had a great game, but those other members of the defensive line were able to get at Kyler Murray. But the only thing that's not keeping them, or the only thing keeping them from being number 1 is that I just think the Saints are an overall, all-around better and more balanced football team. But who knows? We shall see. And with that number 1, you have the New Orleans Saints, who had a bye this week, but damn, they won that too. With Drew Brees getting another week to rest up, even though he came back and looked great. You know, this is just going to help out that team even more. Kamara should be coming back anytime soon. But even if he didn't, you have Latavius Murray, who is kicking ass. And so right now, the Saints, for me, are the best team in football until proven otherwise. But they got some challenging games coming up, so that team will definitely be tested. But let me know what you think about this top 10 down in the comments below. You got a similar top 10? You got the Panthers in the top 10? Who do you got? The Bills? The Dolphins? Probably the Dolphins. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy. All the social media see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course the YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the Patreon members over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. But thank you so much for watching. We'll have a recap coming out later today. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.